Last month, one of our ads turned $4,000 into 17 on Facebook. That's a 4.5x return on our investment. And that same ad is due to bring us another $45,000 this month. Welcome to today's video, where I'm gonna break down the lessons that I learned over the last 5 years spending my first 5 figures on Facebook ads. Not 10, 20, 30, but just over $70,000 on Facebook ads. And that's just for myself, not including what I've seen with my clients spend. And I'm gonna make a point to only explain the strategies that are working to make money this year in 2025. You see, over the last 7 years, I've worked with more than 30 different clients, including my own business, and I've seen strategies come and go. But more importantly, I've seen what consistently makes money. Meta, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and their audience network, is the easiest advertising platform to use, also making it the easiest one to get banned from. Every day, I see different people get their accounts blocked, restricted, suspended, taken down, just trying to make money with their platform. Heck, even one of my own clients, their own personal Facebook page has been banned, and they didn't even know. And this has caused numerous headaches time and time again through this process, all of which can be alleviated if you follow the advice that I give you in this video about how to properly use Meta and to make money with it. And pay specific attention to the nuances. Anything that I tell you, execute it exactly, because the real ROAS is in the right execution, and the right execution comes down to the very little detail and single click that you might put wrong. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about how to scale your business and make money with call funnels, more specifically the direct call funnel, which I use myself to make over $500,000, and I've used with my clients, over 30 of which we've had on the last 7 years, to make multiple 6 and 7 figure months with digital coaching, products, and services. If you're a closer, you're most likely making money at the bottom of one of these, and if you're a business owner, you're most likely considering building one of these. And when it's done properly, you can get it up to over 2.6 million cash collected in a single month, just like one of my clients was able to do. If you love content like this, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss an upload, and click that like so it gets shared to other people like us. Now, without further ado, I got my iPad right in front of me here, so let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, the first thing that you have to understand is what worked in 2024 will not work in 2025. Now, a little story for you. So I'm actually running Facebook ads in an ad account that I built way back in 2017. This was back before Meta made a bunch of the changes. Heck, this was back before the whole iOS 14 update. Now, this ad account that I created, compared to what the ad accounts look like now, I have ad accounts that I've made in 2025, look completely different. And what I mean by that is there's a whole host of different controls and modifications that I can toggle in this campaign that I just cannot do in my 2025 ad account. An ad account is effectively a piece of land that Meta gives you to be able to plant your advertising seeds to make profits. But the thing is, the landscape has changed. From 2024, there was so many other things that you could do and modify to get more out of your campaigns that you just can't do now in 2025. Now, I would say that it's actually not because you can do more, but they've just gone ahead and simplified it. What used to be 5 different optimizations or 4 different optimizations has now come down to 2. One of the biggest ones being Advantage, this whole concept of Advantage, where they just let the algorithm pick and do everything. A little fun fact for you: if you are brand new to advertising and using Meta, there's the largest competitor called Google and YouTube ads. YouTube, as of 2025, you cannot do targeting, meaning you cannot pick the demographic, the interest that your ad is for. You just have to give it to them and say, hey, run with it. Meta is trying to do the same thing, and believe it or not, one of my campaigns is set up that way. I actually don't use any targeting, I just give it to the algorithm. But those are things that are completely new concepts, topics, and ideas that were not done before, used to not be common practice at all. Now, their algorithm has gotten so good, and the reason why their algorithm is good is that Meta made $168 billion in revenue last year. 98% of it came from advertising dollars, people spending money on their platform. So that's enough money for their algorithm, their machine learning, to get enough information to be able to know if an ad is effective or not and how to properly display that, but more importantly, how to entice advertisers. That's actually a 40% revenue growth than they saw the year prior. And so because of this, their algorithm's gotten a heck of a lot smaller, meaning you need to do a lot less to get your ads to perform. You just need to focus on making good ads. But this means that any information you consume from 2018 to 2019 to 2020 to 2021 to 2022, even to 2023, go ahead and forget about it. It's not going to be relevant. There are some principles about how Facebook works that would stay the same, like approvals to disapprovals, but overall, the best practices and strategies have completely changed since they started to make these shifts. Not only that, but Meta has actually increased their internal policies as a company. So there used to be a lot of services, unbanned services, where you could pay insiders at Meta. Those, for the most part, a lot of them have gotten shut down. You need to find new people who actually play by the rules if you want to use their platform. platform. Okay, now the second thing you need to know about effective as a meta advertiser, and this is one that is probably one of my biggest pieces of IP, but I'm gonna give it away to you today. It's understanding the 30-15-2 strategy. 30-15-2. Now, different media buyers, depending on your background, you might give me backlash for this, but this is how I like to test and find winning ads, winning ad angles. You're gonna create 30 images over 2 general categories. Now that's not actually 30 lines, and you're gonna give this to Meta. Let me go ahead and grab it. I think their logo looks like this now. No, their logo doesn't look like that. There we go, that's the new Meta logo for you. I'm not a phenomenal artist. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take these 30 adverts and you're gonna say, hey Meta, have them. And what will happen is that Meta's gonna run these around, they're gonna shuffle through them, they're gonna start serving up impressions, and what you'll see is that of your 30, 2 or 3 of them Meta will absolutely love and get all the spend, and they'll outperform everything else. From there, what you want to do is you want to take those 2 to 3 winners and you want to split them into 15 variations of what are going to be the best ones of those. And you're going to give them back to Meta again. You're going to take those 15 versions of them, give them back to Meta once more. They're going to go ahead and shuffle them around and give some more. And what you're going to see is that 2 of these will usually do the best once more, maybe 2, maybe 3 of them. And by the time that you've taken from the first round of tests to the second, you will see maybe a 3x to 4x improvement in the overall effectiveness, meaning that if your lead cost is $10 here, you're gonna see your lead cost come down to maybe $3 over here. Once you've done that, and I recommend that you do these with images, just still images. PNG. Don't do these with videos yet. You just once more want to find winning concepts. Now I talk about this more inside of my own program, so if you want the full secret sauce on this, I talk about it there. But test the 30 to find the 3 best ones. Make 5 variants of the 3 best ones, so you get 15. Do those in images, and once you get a winning image, then you want to go ahead and create 2 videos. You want to create 2 videos, so you can call them V1, V1. And then you're going to see V2. And you just want to pretty much copy what worked from your first ads over, from your second wave of ads over to your videos. And what you'll see is that the lead quality, the intent is going to go up, the quality is going to go up, and then also the cost will also go up. Now, the reason why your costs are going to go up is because video ads and image ads perform very differently. An image ad has nothing but the persuasiveness of the image, meaning images are good at getting you clicks because it's just someone reads there and clicks it. But a video ad requires attention. Nobody, not the average person can just read, anybody can read an image ad and click on it, but only a very specific person is going to watch your video ad. And the beauty of your video ad is that your video ad has a little elevator pitch in there about what it is that you do offer or sell. And so by the time you get to the second wave, you're going to see what's ruthlessly effective. And this is when you'll start seeing pretty good conversions. If you do it right, you could see your 4 to 5x. If you do this right, you could see your 4 to 5x ROAS right after this alone. This is what I did for my business. And if we collect this 45K that's in the pipeline off of the ads that we've spent, we'll actually be at a way higher ROAS. I don't want to give away the number because I don't want you guys to come and steal my stuff. If you want to know that, pay me. Either become a client or become part of my program. We'll break the full thing down for you. But this is where you can start to see a pretty juicy ROAS if you go through this 30-15-2 process. This has been bulletproof for myself. It's been bulletproof for my clients, and it's been bulletproof for my students who work as consultants for info products and digital services that are using meta ads. And so this is the 30-15-2 breakdown. This is the most effective and smart way to test and optimize. 30 images, find your top 3, 5 variants of the top 3, run those, and then turn your top 2 into winning videos, and then run those to the same funnel. Now, that's just what you're doing on the ad side of thing. I will say that this is going to be your ads. On the back end of this, you're going to have your whole funnel where you're sending people through a series of pages to where they eventually book a phone call with you, the funnel. That's a completely different strategy of what you need to do here to be able to turn this traffic, to turn these eyeballs into actual people who have paid you. But the 30-15-2, if you have a general sense of direction and know what you're doing, go ahead and run that. I guarantee that it will work really well for you. Now, let me give you some sauce on the funnel side of things because I don't want to leave you completely hanging. Now, for the basics of your funnel, you're going to have your opt-in where you're going to get information, and then you're going to have usually a VSL, and then that's when you book them to the call. So this is what the funnel looks like in its simplest form. When you're first starting your campaign, you want to put your pixel on the VSL page, and what's important to know is the difference between conversion events. Now, if you're not a sophisticated media buyer, if you don't know anything about Meta, then maybe just skip past this section a little bit. But if you want to become better at Meta and you want to understand how it works, well, hear me out, because I'm going to explain something very important for you. Now, Meta has two different types of things that you can do with the Pixel. The Facebook Pixel is nothing more than a tracking code. It's just a tracker. It just lets you know when someone has done something. It's like a Ring doorbell. When someone gets close enough to the doorbell, it will notify you. That's all the Pixel does. But what you do with the Pixel is you have it track specific things and give that back to the algorithm and say, hey, bring me more people that do stuff like that. It's like if you had a Ring doorbell and you realize that every time a black van drives by, they usually stop and come close enough for it to trigger, and you've got an algorithm in the back end, it's gonna take each one of those fires and tell, the overlords at Meta, hey, do more stuff like that. So effectively sending more black vans down your street, because black vans trigger the Ring doorbell, and the Ring doorbell is sending that feedback, and you build a feedback loop. That's exactly how it works. Same thing with ChatGPT, same thing as learning any behavior. You need positive feedback. And so all it does is watch for something to happen, send that back to Meta as positive feedback. Now, you can have custom conversions and standard conversions. Custom conversions is an event that is unique, which means like only you are the creator and understander of this event. Then you have standard events. These are universal, which means everyone, all. Both of these have their competitive advantages. Now, depending on who you're watching or following, each person will recommend something different. What I recommend is what works for me. What somebody else recommends works for them. If you want to get results with my strategy, do it as I tell you. Don't do it as someone else does, and do not blend strategies. Definitely don't do that. So, standard universal events are events that Meta has seen across the whole platform, so if you put a lead conversion event or a call conversion event, Meta's going to look at everybody on their platform that's ever booked a call and find people that it guesses are call bookers. Now you can create custom conversions where only people that have booked a call with you for your product is being sent back. So it's not guessing everybody, it's just trying to find people that look like the people who've done it for you. That's a custom conversion compared to a universal event. It's specific to you and your business. Now, if you want to get results quickly, I recommend you create a custom conversion event for leads, and you put that on the VSL page, and you force all of your traffic to come through an opt-in. So all the eyeballs that Meta is sending you, put them through a lead capture, send them to the VSL, and once they hit the VSL, send that data back as a custom conversion event as a lead. That's the first way to optimize your funnel, because if you can't send people to a page that's very basic and get them to take action, you don't have something that someone will spend money on. If they won't give you their name, email, and phone number, why are they going to give you money? So the first goal to figure out is how can I get them to give me their name, email, and phone number? So for this example, once more, we want to try to get maybe 25% plus of people that come to our opt-in page to give us their name, email, and phone number. Once you have effectively done that, you should have got enough people who've watched the VSL that you will begin to see calls. Now you want to put the pixel on your thank you page. So once someone's booked a call, they're going to get the thing taken to a thank you page where it says, hey, your call's been booked, don't miss it. Place your pixel here with a custom conversion event called call. Now, what you also want to do is once you're starting to get leads, create a new custom conversion event that's called call, put that on your thank you page. Naturally, the traffic that you're starting to get should begin to book calls, and then that data gets sent back to Facebook. Now you start building up two things, right? Facebook is developing its own brain. We'll just call this a box that's like a brain. This is going to be conversion event 1. And then we've got a brain that is conversion event 2. So what's going to happen is someone's going to come through your funnel, hit this page, and boom, they're going to get put as a lead. Then eventually they'll book a call, and they'll get put as a call. Then someone will come through, they'll get put as a lead. Boom, it gets put as a lead, but they don't book a call. Someone comes through as a lead. Boom, gets put as a lead, but they don't book a call. Someone comes through as a lead, then they book a call. Boom, gets put as a lead and a call. Then this cycle just keeps going on, and eventually you'll get a ton of data on who becomes a lead for you, and then who actually books calls. And then the ninja thing that you do later, eventually, once you get enough data, because the key for running a successful campaign is you need to train Meta to do what you want. Like a child learning a new skill, like ChatGPT figuring out what it is that you want, you need to train it to bring you what you want. And that's only possible if you can afford to give it data. So once you get 15 or so conversion events for calls, for leads, or 15 or so events for calls, that's when Meta has what's called like enough information for it to know how to just consistently bring you those things. And that's when you can start to become way more advanced. This is when you start to see costs begin to drop, performance begin to stabilize, and your profits and your ROAS begin to go up. But this is where most people go wrong, is they can never get themselves past this whole development phase where they get enough leads and they get enough calls. So Use those two things. Watch this portion back, create a leads custom conversion event and create a call custom conversion event and mature them with data. Start with leads, and then eventually, once you get good, once you become sophisticated enough as a media buyer, you can just strip out this whole opt-in, send leads just to your VSL page, and then tell with a call conversion event, and then you just get calls booked at a cheap cost. Sweet. Okay, so it's a smart way to test and optimize. Now let's go into part 3, which is different ad types and how they work. So remember our diagram. We've got our funnel over here. We've got our ad side. We've got our funnel side. Let's talk about the actual ads, right? Those PNGs and those videos. So I want to talk about what makes an effective ad, and it's actually much simpler than you'd like to believe. There's a lot of people out there that believe that ads is some sort of spinjitzu, sacred art that, you know, only advanced copywriters know how to do, and it's really expensive. People have all these limiting beliefs around paid advertising, and it's complete BS for the most part. You have two types of ads. You have images and then you have videos. I like to start with images first before I go ahead and graduate to videos. The reason being is that images are way easier to test. You can create, 50 versions of an image much faster than you can create 50 versions of a video. They're also cheaper in terms of time and money. For me to make a video, that's time that my video editor has to spend, and money that I have to put towards him to make that video that he could spend doing other things in my business. But also the most important part of this is that a losing image, a bad image is usually just one or two things that can ruin it. A bad video could be like 20 different things. So that's why I like to start with images, is when I can figure out the core basic concept of what works, I can graduate that to a video. Once I have a working video, I can scale that up. Now, what makes a good image and a good video? Well, really 3 simple things. And this is actually advice that I didn't learn. It's something that I've observed. It's something that I learned and been able to apply and understand better now through the force of my application. But it's something that I learned from a mentor. The first part is a call out. What I mean by that is you need to be crystal clear on who your ad is for. You need to say in 1 to 2 words exactly who it's for. High ticket closers, coaches and consultants, accountants under 50K, single men, women on the menopause, YouTubers with less than 1,000 subs, people getting 500 views, less than 10,000 followers. If you have a 700 plus credit score, those are actual examples from my clients that I've used. You have to be really clear about who your ad is for. Then you have to create a headline, and there's 2 types of headlines. There's direct and then there's indirect. A direct headline has a specific outcome. It's gonna have a specific percentage or dollar amount or time that is required of you. An indirect is just gonna talk about some sort of goated benefit. Or, actually another one, a story. It is much harder, like 10 times harder to make an indirect headline work than a direct one. I always and only do direct headlines, not indirect ones, because I'm not that sophisticated as a marketer, as a copywriter, and why would I do that? Why would I do something that's just harder? When I do direct offers, people understand them better and they're more apt to buy. There's bigger reasons and more reasons to that I can't explain in this video. I'll put it in another one that'll be linked on the screen over here. Check that out if you're curious to learn more about it. Now, direct versus indirect. Direct headlines, for example, I'll show you how to lose 14 pounds in the next 30 days. I'll show you how to get back 40 hours a week of your time. I'll show you how to get over heartbreak 65% faster. I'll show you how to make $100,000 a month plus YouTube in only 2 hours a week of work. I'll show you how to get all your content creation down to 2 hours a week or less. Those are all very direct. It's clear what you're gonna learn. Indirect offers are gonna be like, new study shows a great way to lose weight. Hope your doctor doesn't hear about this. My husband was shocked when I came home wearing these pants. You wouldn't believe what I saw under my carpet. You wouldn't believe what it was that got this stain out of my shirt. There was this incredible morning routine. There's a new ancient routine around how it is that you can train your cats to become more disciplined. Those are all indirect. There's not a clear number. It's not really clear what you get. It's more of like a curiosity click. Now, an important thing to know about direct headlines is that you must be compliant. Otherwise, the FTC will come and get you. I'll put on the screen right now, but one of my best friends, a good friend of mine, actually just got sued by the FTC last Wednesday. I connected him with a lawyer of mine that's going to help take care of his situation, but you don't want to make claims that aren't true. Direct offers work better, and they work so well that they can actually put you in jail, put you behind bars, shut down your whole business because you're just saying things that the average person cannot achieve. Now, what you need to know about compliance, now mind you, I will say, I'm not a compliance lawyer. This is completely entertainment advice. Do not take this personally. You know, if you get sued, that's completely, you understand what you're getting into. But you need to do what's called a substantiated claim. Substantiated means you need to just call out specifically what the contingencies were around that. I'll show you how to lose 70 pounds. You can't really say that. Our top students lose 70 pounds. The average customer loses 15 pounds. That's what makes it substantiated. It just has to be true. You have to put some sort of qualifier or thing in front of it that's going to make it known to the viewer or obvious to the viewer that either this is an exception to the rule or this is what the average person does. And then you actually need to have done a study or actually have some math about your business to do that. Because if you get sued, they're going to ask where you got that information or research from. And if you don't have real figures to back it up, well, just like that, you're going to end up, you know, being shut down. Now let's talk about the fourth thing, which is an actual winning strategy. I'm gonna explain exactly what I did to find my ad that is creating me a 4.5x ROAS. I'll break the whole entire thing down for you. Now I'm gonna condense it down to what is the core strategy. I had a little bit more money to spend in tests, so I did more things than I'd recommend for the average person. What I did originally was I created a bunch of videos and I went against my own rule. I created actually 2 videos. Video 1, I thought I knew it all. I jumped straight to the end. I created video 1 and video 2. Both of these did not work. And I spent $6,000 trying to make something work, and I couldn't make it work. My cost per call was $562. And for context, you can't be profitable with $562 call. I mean, if you're selling something for like 40K, 50K, you can be, but most offers will not work at a $562 per call because once more, 40% of those people won't show, and of the people that do, 20% of them will buy, probably 10% will buy within the same week. So you do the math on that, you're just gonna be unprofitable. What I then did, I created a bunch of images. I didn't do the full 30 because I did know what my business should be. I had points of reference. I had friends that ran similar companies. I already had a bit of a leg up because I was modeling what worked. So here's one idea, 2 variations, 2 variations, 2 variations, 2 variations, 2 variations, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and then one more, 15, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. I created 15 image ads. And then I found 2 of them that were winners that happened to be right here in the middle. And then I took those, turned those into videos, and these are my winning ads. These are the ones, one of them is bringing me the 4.5x ROAS. The other one actually hasn't got as much spend. One of them's gotten like 4 times as much spend as the other one. Then Meta's done it. And believe it or not, this one ad has brought me $17,000 in cash. One single video ad brought me $17,000 in cash, 4.5x. And I'm continuing to run this thing, and it's continuing to bring me sales. I've got a couple deals that are pending to close right now. I've got once more, another 45K that's pending to close. If that closes, then yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty healthy. So, but what I did on the funnel side of things to make these work is while I was running these image ads, what I did, I was running these image ads to a funnel that was, once more, an opt-in to a VSL to a thank you page. And in between these two, that's when they'd book a sales call. And so when I was doing this, my first round that failed, my opt-in rate was around like 9% or under. I couldn't get it to go up any higher. My second round, when it started to work, I got up to 20% plus. So once you're above 20% or even 25%, that's when you know you have some sort of proof of concept. So for my first round, I did that. And once more, I did the whole conversion event thing. I put my pixel here. I optimized for leads. And so I had my conversion event 1, and I was getting leads. And I got a lot of leads off of this. I was getting a couple call bookings too. I put my pixel on my thank you page, and I was also collecting calls over here. And then once I got enough leads, I actually went ahead and did away with the whole opt-in page. And this is when I launched my videos, actually. I launched my videos to the opt-in, and I was getting the 25%. And I figured, well, what would happen if I got rid of the opt-in? Well, I did that, and I sent them straight to the VSL page, and that worked okay, but I decided to take it one step further. I had enough calls that had booked. Like, once more, I'd spent $4,000. I had a lot of calls that had booked off of this, so I had enough data. Meta had more than enough of a healthy sample size to work off of. I actually just decided to send my leads straight to the schedule page and just say, hey, optimize for bringing me calls. Hey, they've got the video ad. Bring me people that would book off of just this ad alone. And Meta did. And I actually watched my cost per call. I don't know what percentage gain, what percentage drop that is. But when you optimize your ads and when you give Meta sufficient data and you actually monitor your conversion events, you could begin to really dial things in to a point where you're just getting calls that are incredibly cheap. My nearest competitor, my best friend and also my biggest competitor, his calls are coming in at anywhere between 100 to 150 for the same quality lead. But all I do is media buy a little bit better. Now, granted, I'm not spending as much money as him. There's a lot more that goes into understanding how Meta works. There's a lot of different layering concepts to understand to being effective on their platform. But this general basics is most of what you need to know to be able to be effective. Create a bunch of ads, find a winning concept, move that to videos. As you're going through that, slowly remove the steps of your funnel, and then eventually you'll have a winning ad doing exactly the thing you want. The shortest path between two places, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And so what you want to do is Meta doesn't know how to give you a straight line until you train it. So that's why you have a funnel. That's a couple different steps. There's one line, there's two lines. And then you have your ads, which are sending people to different places. But eventually you get to the point where it's literally just add to the thing that you want, and you're just shortest distance, cheapest costs, and you can scale that thing pretty well. I can flip my ad spend from $100 a day to $500 a day to $600 a day, and my performance is consistent. My costs don't inflate, and it's really a blessing. So that's the power of understanding how to actually run a good ad campaign. That's the strategy that we used. So with that, I'm gonna say that wraps up most of what I learned spending my first $70,000 in lessons that I've seen over the last 5 years running Meta ads. It's pretty simple, but simple scales, complex fails. I've seen that time and time again, and it's what's allowed me to be effective as an advertiser and be able to provide the results that I do for my clients. Now I wanna hear from you. What is the biggest challenge that you face when it comes to running and scaling your Meta ads? Comment that down below. I'll be active and I'll be sure to respond to you guys. And if you got value from this video, make sure you hit that like button so the algorithm recommends it to other people and we're able to continue to develop an audience of people that love using call funnels, making money with call funnels. And if you want to learn more about call funnels and how to make money with them, either as a salesperson or as a consultant or as a business owner, well, click the links that I put down in the description and check out some of the videos linked there. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.